How are you? My name is Tom Turgeon with Boise Bows and Arrows. We're in my hometown today teaching two students how to make their first longbows. In one case, it's their second longbow with me, their advanced class. We're in as safe an environment as we can be with a little bit of noise. We've got a brick wall behind our target. We have brick walls behind us and a large parking lot to our right. So we're as safe as we can be, for those who are wondering. Big deal is that one of my students came all the way from Spokane and drove all the way down here. We appreciate his effort. It's his second time with me. He made a reflex deflex bow. And the second student came all the way from Australia. Probably the student that probably drove or flew or traveled, pardon me, the furthest to get to one of my classes. But we'll find out a little bit about them, and we'll see how their first arrows fly off their brand new bows. Joe, usually I have to say, have you made a bow before? But I know you do. Before we get into that, I'd like to thank Joe again for his service to this country. He served in the Army, and we appreciate them. How many years, Joe?
10 years.
10 years in, and medic?
Yep.
Yep. So, you know, the people who say they appreciate it, they probably really do. So, and I do for sure. We've talked many times about that. Do you, as far as the reflex deflex, I noticed that, like, you built the traditional bow with me before. What would you say is the difference in the way it feels or any of that?
A little bit more strength, a little more power it feels like, and definitely a lot smoother. I can definitely feel it.
Yeah.
You know, especially when I start getting it back towards that 26-inch mark.
Yeah, yeah. And Joe hunts with his bows. Before taking my class, I believe you were a duck hunter, but not a deer hunter.
Right.
And Joe's taken, with his original bow, his first bow, he's taken 2 deer in 3 years. So not too bad from a guy who went from building his own tackle, his own bow, and taking an animal and putting food on the table. So let's see how your reflex deflex bow shoots. And I know I'm already smiling because I already know the deal. I already know how this thing's going to hit that target. It's going to hit real hard. We're shooting at about 12 yards at a cardboard box in front of a large cement and concrete wall. But nice and smooth, Joe, and it'll be interesting to see how you feel the difference or what it feels like for you. So without
Let's do
further
it.
ado. Quiet. The first thing I noticed is it's pretty quiet. You have a brand new arrow that's not been bent, a brand new bow that hasn't been bent, and it's not even making the arrow, what we call arrow slap, that noise that comes off the string. Pretty sweet. I mean, I'm happy for you, you know, so.
It's smooth. It's real smooth.
Nice and smooth, you know, just pick a spot. There you go. Feels pretty good. Not too hard, doesn't hurt your shoulders or
Nah,
anything like that?
it's real comfortable even with the injury.
Yeah, very nice. Thanks very much, Joe. I appreciate it. I appreciate your effort getting down here too. All right, buddy. And we'll leave those arrows there for this time being. And we'll have Colin shoot a couple arrows and we'll see what he's got going. Colin? After, how many months ago did you sign up for this class?
9 months.
9 months ago. So yeah, and we've talked many times over the phone. Colin's from, what city are you from? Australia?
Gosford City, but the town of Yamina.
Okay.
New South Wales Central Coast.
Okay. And you've made bows. You made bows out of red oak bow.
I made red oak.
What do you find what's the biggest difference between so far, without having shot it yet, the difference between this and a red oak?
Far smoother.
Smoother.
Smoother to draw. I don't know what it's like to shoot. I haven't shot it yet.
Right.
But certainly much smoother.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just the quality is far superior with the yellow oak, yellow heart compared to red oak.
That's right. See, red oak has to move all that weight, and yellow heart is relatively light, and it also doesn't want to be compressed, so it wants to push.
Yeah.
So the bamboo wants to pull, the yellow heart wants to push, and they're thinner limbs, so all that stored energy back here is just going in to propel that arrow. So let's see what your first arrow feels like, it sounds like coming off your bow. It's nice and smooth, pick a spot. First thought.
Favourite word's awesome.
Awesome.
Best word to describe.
Yeah.
Yeah. bird, one of ours is sweet.
Okay.
Swing very sweet.
Yeah, sweet drawing bow.
Same. Yeah, it's just,
This is the least he's talked the entire time he's been in Boise, Idaho.
I'm so glad to be here. So
Yeah.
glad to finally meet you.
Thank you.
And to learn more about you.
Yes.
And also to learn your way of making these bows.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and when for the last 9 months, even in my class over the weekend or the last few days, Colin was you were repeating a lot of what he'd heard on the DVDs. So
Right.
now you see how the information on the DVDs kind of all comes together in the class, and hopefully it makes a little bit more sense of terminology and things like that.
It does. It does.
All right. Well, I'm glad you made the trip over.
So am I.
All right. Thank you very much.
Next time.
All right. Hopefully you'll go to my website, check out our not only the schedule. We might be coming to a state near you. I know we have Texas coming up. I think I have California coming up. I've been to New York this year. I've been to Pennsylvania. I've been to Florida. Where have I been down south? Ohio this year. So check the website if you're really interested in making a bow and you're serious about it. You might not have to go all the way from Australia, but come down and take the class and learn a lot. You can also see me at archerytalk.com, and it's Tom Turgeon's Traditional Archery Forum. Go there, ask your questions, and find out a little bit more. There's a lot of helpful people out there. It's not just me answering questions from people all over the world. So if you're really serious about making wood bend, take the class or read up on the forum and make your own decisions. But thank you for watching these videos. I appreciate it. Thank you.